Hey guys, happy Saturday. Went to bed early last night. It's been a rough week. I was in bed at like 9:30 and I woke up this morning at 7:30. I was like, must stamp, have an idea. So I feel really good today. And decided to run ahead with my Wonder Recipe number 10 challenge from the Craft Social. We're gonna get this shared in the Craft Social too, just in case that's the place where you usually find me, and because it's a Craft Social challenge. So every Thursday we play a game. Sometimes it's mystery card, sometimes it's taboo or connect four or inspiration challenge. This week I had more doctor's appointments than I had planned, and so Rhonda stepped in with Tammy, awesome ladies from the Craft Social, and they stepped in with a Wonder Recipe number 10 challenge, and I was so grateful. We're having fun with it on the Craft Social, and I thought I would play the Wonder Recipe 10 challenge. All right, so you saw as you were coming in, I'm stamping blueberries. Let me show you where that came from. This is the Berry Blessings stamp set. This is the last 2 days of celebration where you can get this product for free. You can't buy this stamp set. You can only earn it for free with a $100 order. And today and tomorrow are the last days. Don't wait till Sunday night, please. Website gets really crazy if you try to join on Sunday night or place your last minute orders. It could go badly. I went ahead and I stamped them, two-step stamping. I love this for fast cards like Wonder Recipe cards, no coloring involved at all. I'm going to do some fussy cutting, but we just stamped the outside image. I used Garden Green for my outline, and then you saw me use Granny Apple Green stamped off for my leaf fill in. Then I used Night of Navy for my berry outline, and then you saw me use Pacific Point stamped off for my berries. All right, I'm gonna cut while we're talking and getting in here. This is the Wonder Recipe number 10. The only ink pad I'm gonna need is Night of Navy, so let me clear these away. Hey Patty Ann, hi Bonnie. I'm so glad you guys are finding me on a Saturday. I don't usually go live. Hi Diane. Hi Teresa. Hey Kay. Thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh, you guys don't even know. When you share the video, that's how people find out about me. So if you've got crafty friends that you think would be interested, please share the video. The more the merrier. All right, so I'm gonna hold on to Night of Navy because we're gonna do our sentiments with that one, but I got rid of the rest. This is Wonder Recipe number 10. Wonder Recipe number 10 is a cutting diagram for a 6x6 paper. When you cut the paper and then make cards. And really the fun part is, where do I start? Let me show you what we're making. Oh, you guys, I'm just so excited. I feel better than I felt in probably about a month, to tell you honestly. All right, so Wonder Recipe number 10, after you cut your 6x6 designer series paper, then you make your cards. So here's number 1. I used 2 of the 2.5x3 pieces, 1 of each side of the paper. Okay, that's card number 1. This is just one piece of 6x6 paper. You can multiply this by cutting multiple 6x6 sheets and make more cards. Here's another one. This is the 3x3 and the last 2x3 piece. I just covered the seam with the labels. And then our last one from Wonder Recipe number 10, one sheet, is this card. Now this one's gonna look a little funny to you because we only had one 3x3 left, right? But because I love both sides of this paper so much, I then took my last 3x3 piece, cut an inch off, and flipped it and spread them out and covered the gap with our labels. See? So that's Wonder Recipe number 10. That's what we're gonna make today. Hey Linda, hi Gail. Hey Cindy. All right, you guys are really getting in here. That's good. I'm gonna next cut these out. Okay, so I gotta cut out my berries. So I wanna tell you, if you're not already a member on the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social, you can get over there and play in the challenge with us. We love to see what you make with your Stampin' Up products. The rules are so simple. For this challenge, use the Wonder Recipe number 10. Use primarily Stampin' Up products. Retired are okay. Share. I will make a post, an official post with a picture of these cards but there's already a post where the ladies of the Craft Social are playing. Share the cards that you make. Share pictures of the cards. Please don't share links. The Craft Social, if you don't already know, is a place to stay and play. We don't link away from the Craft Social. And then my last request is that you do not promote yourself or any other demonstrator or stamping company. So that's the rules. If you play this week, we'll have a little bit of a prize. I don't know how we'll base it. I tend to do 3 random. We're going to prize patrol coming later today for our last challenge, for our inspiration challenge. There's a really cute inspiration challenge that we just finished 2 weeks ago on the Craft Social. You had until the 25th to play. So I think we'll give 2 weeks from Thursday to play in the Wonder Recipe Challenge to be considered. I just send a little happy mail randomly. So those are it. And just consider the rules when you post. We want to see your Stampin' Up products in use. I want to see what you're doing with stuff. Hey B, long time no see, that's for sure. Teaching getting in the way. I'm glad you're working. I'm doing a Wonder Recipe today. I did 1 6x6 sheet and made 3 cards using the Berry Blessings bundle. All right, so I'm going to cut out just one of these. I'm going to actually, Desi's here today. She's helping me in the office. That's the only way I'm getting prize patrol out, because she's going to help me do it. I couldn't do it without her. Did you guys see that last newsletter card tutorial? The exclusive for the newsletter subscribers? That was all Desi. Adorable fun fold card using Kangaroo and Company. Des, will you cut these for me while I show how I cut the paper? All right, so the Wonder Recipe is printable. Just open the picture that you see on the business page or in the files section of the group and open it in a new browser and print it if you like. We've got a piece of this gorgeous, very delightful designer series paper. This is your last weekend to get this paper for free. It's free with the Berry Blessing stamp set as a bundle when you place a $100 order during celebration. So here's just a quick look at the patterns. Big berries, red check, strawberries with a strawberry pattern. This is the one we're using today. This blue kind of plaid with the berries. We got small berries and green plaid, purple raspberries, and a purple raspberry print, and then red raspberries. Flip that last one up for you so you can see, with a leaf print. It is probably the best pack of paper I've seen Stampin' Up do in a while. Gorgeous, gorgeous multicolor patterns. We've got a 6x6 of that one. And where's my paper trimmer? All right, let's cut this one up according to the Wonder Recipe. Linda says, cute card, thank you. Let's see what else. Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Surprise. I don't usually go live on Saturday. Marley says, first time seeing a Wonder Recipe. Come and play. All right, I'll demonstrate and then you can play in the Craft Social. Okay, Marley? Oh, it's a sunny 85-degree Florida gale. Oh, 85 degrees. Don't rub it in. I think we're having like a 30-something degree heat wave here. Ethel says, working, catch you on the replay. Catch me on the replay, and I cannot wait to see what you will do with this Wonder Recipe. Have you done a Wonder Recipe yet, Ethel? I just only glanced over the comments. I'm going to start an official thread today after I'm done. All right, so I've got my paper, 6x6. I'm on 3 inches right now, and I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to flip, cut to 3 inches. And when you use these little Wonder Recipe diagrams, please keep in mind that they're not to scale. So keep the finished measurement in mind when you're cutting. And then we got this other, now this is 6x3, and we're gonna cut this one at 2 and 2 to get all of our pieces. See, I'm just gonna pop them right in the chart for you. There are 10 Wonder Recipes. I'll be introducing Wonder Recipe number 11 very shortly. let me show you what we got here. So here's our window recipe. And this is expandable. So of course you could cut 2 pieces of paper and shuffle the pieces. You could cut 3 pieces of paper. And what this does for you now is it determines your color palette. Let me show you if you're just joining us. These are the cards we're making. So I took my paper, and that was the first thing I chose. I cut it 6 by 6, and then I grabbed my cardstock. And funny story, it's Saturday, so we'll chat a little. I said, I want a light card base so that the colors really pop. I grabbed Pool Party, I grabbed Pacific Point, and Granny Apple Green, and Night of Navy, and Whisper White. And I just grabbed all those cardstock. Well, I opened up my scraps of Pool Party and found that I had 3 card bases already in there. They were embossed with the Retired Tufted Designers or folder. So I just grabbed those 3 card bases. You know what? I'm going to use them up. And then I looked inside my Night of Navy, and I already had these labels all cut and left over from class. And I had 1 of this Pacific Point label cut. I had 2 1/8 inch circles already cut from left over from a project. I just grabbed all my leftovers. And how? Well, I started with the colors that were in the paper, so it made it really easy. The idea of the Wonder recipe is just to make more cards. And then, so what I decided was these were too beautiful on both sides, so we'll use some of each side. And then just go from there. All right, so let's pull these up out of here. I do not have my tufted embossing folder anymore. I don't even know if I have it. So I decided to go with the subtle texture, or actually the tasteful texture. It's kind of like an orange peel. So I'm gonna emboss all 3 card fronts. I won't do that on video. I did 2 of them ahead of time with this little subtle texture. We're doing that. Rebecca, your moose cards for this one, where you made this piece into little curtains, like, oh, this one where you cut it and made little curtains, that was so cute. Linda says, how do I store my leftovers? Let me show you. I'll grab those. Hey Des, will you grab me my Night of Navy scraps so I can. All right, so let's design this, or let's emboss this, and then I'll show you one of my cardstock scrap, how I keep my cardstock scraps and leftovers. What a great question. I love that. All right, so this Tasteful Textures 3D embossing folder, I think is the name of this one. And I'm just gonna add a texture on there, all of them. The idea with the Wonder recipe is to make more cards, to make jumping in easier, to help you get started. So once you pick the designer series paper, then you know what color cardstock and ink. Once you know what color cardstock ink and you've picked the designer series paper, and grab a stamp set. This time I woke up saying, I really wish I had done more with that Berry Blessings. So I had started with the stamp set in mind, which led to the designer series paper, which led to the cardstock selections, which led to the ink selections. Then once you cut the designer series paper, you've got your ink chosen, your cardstock chosen, your stamps chosen, your paper cut, your cards are almost done. All right, so then here's our originals with the tufted and our second set with the tasteful texture. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere all the designer series papers to the cards. And then you work in batches. So you're going to have multiple cards done at one time, which is really awesome. And it helps to just break that crafter's block, get you going. The funny part is, as soon as I finished making these cards, then I grabbed the new, make sure I'm doing the right side. Then I grabbed the new designer series papers, the ones that are free in your starter kit. So I've got these 5 packs. When you join Stampin' Up during celebration, you got just less than 2 days to do it. You got a $99 starter kit, In the starter kit, you choose $125 worth of product of your choice. You can even get the new Butterfly Brilliance bundle, anything you want, $125 retail. And then Stampin' Up! Is going to throw in 5 packages of designer series paper. So as soon as I finished this bundle of cards, this little 3-pack, I grabbed my stacks of designer series paper, the starter kit special, and see how I did that there. I'm going to do these. So that's this one. Now I'm going to do this one. And started a Wonder Recipe number 10 for the Darling Donkeys. So I might go live again with another Wonder Recipe 10 challenge, because as I was laying in bed this morning at 7 o'clock on a Saturday, because I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night, I was like, I didn't use the Darling Donkeys enough either. So you might see me live again before celebration's over to play with the Darling Donkeys. All right, then this little guy goes like this. Hey, Anna, I saw you did it. Welcome to the kitchenettes, my friend. Whoop, whoop. All right, let me put one more, because now we'll only have one piece left, right? That's this one. So here's the fun part. I got a Wonder Recipe. It helped me get started, but crafty girls do what they want, right? So I'm going to take this one and cut an inch off. And I'm going to flip it over, spread it out, and use that on my third card, because it couldn't just be blueberries, even though I had just one piece left. It had to have that plaid too. So the Wonder Recipes are super flexible. Once you get going, it's really almost hard to stop. All right, so Anna is the newest member of the kitchenettes. I'm going to show you guys all the gorgeous paper that she's getting in her kit. So for $99 plus tax, free shipping, you can join Stampin' Up! Right now. During celebration, you've got until tomorrow, but don't wait till tomorrow night. And Stampin' Up! Will give you 5 packages of amazing designer series paper. This is one that I'm going to be doing with the Darling Donkeys. You get Brights 6x6. You get Regals 6x6. You get Settles 6x6. All in patterns that nobody else can get their hands on right now, because being a demonstrator, just more fun. Neutrals 6x6, and in color 6x6. These are $11.50 each retail value, and they're just thrown on top of the $125. So if you're thinking about it, work until 5 o'clock tonight. If you've got questions, reach out. All right, so now we're going to take some labels. I did all of mine ahead of time, mostly because I had a bunch of them left over. Let me show you how I store my scraps. All right, so I got these little poly envelopes. They're snap closure. You can get them at the Dollar Tree, but they're kind of hard to find. You can also find them on Amazon. And I take the label off of the cardstock pack and glue it on, and then keep all the scraps in these. So I've got all my scraps, but then I also take the bags, usually left over from like the die sets. They're a nice size, and I use those. I hold on to them and use them for storing. So if I have extra bits and pieces of solid color, I just put them right inside one of these little envelopes so that they're easy to find. And then when I'm doing a Wonder Recipe and I really want to bust out some cards fast, the first thing I go for as I'm auditioning parts and pieces is the leftover cuts. So some of them will have like little bags with punched butterflies or hearts or whatever, depending on the color. And then I have paper racks like you would find at the Michaels or Hobby Lobby, you know, like the standing ones. And then I just put them on the racks. This navy one is shameful. It's too fat to fit on the rack. I put it up above. So that's how I do that. And then I can take all these little bits and pieces that are left, either rejects from a project or left from cutting a class or whatever. They're just there to find. Okay, so that's what I did here. I decided that to cover the gap, I needed a long one. Let me show you where these came from super quick. All right, my circles are all 2 1/8 circles, cut from Whisper White using layering circles. Got 3 of those. And then my labels, the one card has this largest label from Tasteful Labels. And then the 2 other cards have this largest rectangle oval cut from Night of Navy from Hippo and Friends. And then all the cards have this little medium swoopy square. This is also Hippo and Friends, and it's that medium size one. Good? All right. So not only are the Wonder Recipes a great way to use up your bits and pieces, but it's also really just answers all the questions for you, the what if questions. What do I do? What piece? What color? You know, you just cut through. And then once you've cut up all the paper, you're so far down the trail that you just keep going. All right, so this is what we're going to do real quick. I did a bunch ahead of time, so it'd be nice and dry. I've got my crinkle seam binding ribbon here and Pacific Point Stampin' Right marker. And I tried the white, but it got lost in the blueberry pattern paper. So then I just decided we would have some Pacific Point ribbon. I don't think I've ever seen Stampin' Up! Come out with Pacific Point ribbon. So there it is. Just run the brush side of your marker down the ribbon. You can do that on your ink pad, and you can do that with Stampin' Blend markers as well as Stampin' Right. Now your Stampin' Blend markers are going to dry much faster than your Stampin' Right or your ink pads because these are water-based. All right, so we did that. Let's set that aside. It's got to dry a little bit before we can tie our bows. So we'll stamp our greetings. How about that? Carol says, I didn't know you're on. I'm so glad you caught me anyways. I didn't know I was going to be on either. I wasn't feeling good last night. It was a rough week last week. And so I went to bed at 9 o'clock. Woke up this morning itching to stamp. I had ideas. So I thought, why not play in the Wonder Recipe number 10 challenge? Hey, Becky, I'm glad you're here. Cindy says, how do I sign up to receive your newsletter? Great question. There are exclusive tutorials every time I send a newsletter. Now, my newsletters can come out once a month. My emails can come out once a week, depending on what's going on in my life, because it's kind of the thing that ends up on the back burner. But usually when you get an email from me, it's got an exclusive tutorial in it. And to sign up for that, just go kitchentablestamper.com. And in the upper right on the sidebar is a little box that says free card class. And you just put your name and email in. And that'll get you on the newsletter list. And to your mailbox immediately will be delivered the Quirky Critters card class. Really cute little card class. You'd have to switch out the stamp set now because it's retired. But you'll get a free card class. And then every time you get an email from me, you'll get great information, inspiration. You'll know what's going on for the classes. So get signed up. All right. You always have a way of making my days, also from Berry Blessings. And I just stamped it with Night of Navy. But it says, yay, donkeys. Oh, they're so my favorite. And I haven't even had a chance. I've been so busy with stuff outside of Stampin' Up! For the last, I don't know, for about half a celebration. So I'm excited to play with them a little bit this afternoon and maybe get back to you tomorrow with another surprise live Wonder Recipe number 10. Okay, we've got this all stamped. Let's start putting together some layers. I lost my blueberries that I cut out. Desi's doing some for me. Desi, did you take the one that's cut out or did I lose it? Oh, that's okay, as long as I know where it's at. All right, so let's put together for all of them. This is the other thing about Wonder Recipe, is we've got 3 cards here that are all very unique actually, but because they share so many elements in common, they make for really good bulk stamping or assembly line style stamping. But you don't get cookie cutter results necessarily. You can, but you don't have to. So all the 2 and 1/8 inch circles are getting glued to the swoopy square. And then we'll glue all the swoopy squares to the Night of Navy labels. Carol says raining and yucky here today. Ooh, we have been sunny for days and it's been very good for my mood. Today's a nice and bright sunny day too. I wish you sunshine soon, my friend. All right, then this guy is going to go low of center because we want room for that branches and bow. That's this one, which is this one. And then this one. We've got our Tasteful label, so let's go ahead and glue one to the Tasteful label. Linda said, cute gift set too. Absolutely. This would brighten anybody's day as a gift, for sure. And if you do craft fairs, little card kit or card sets, put these in a clear box and gorgeous, right? All right, let's go ahead and glue them down to the card too. Less pieces for me to shuffle around. And we'll glue that guy. I love this designer series paper. I haven't had enough time to play with it because of all that's going on. This is just so good for my soul. All right, then this covers the gap. We're back to card number 1 for just a minute here. It's got to be off center a little bit because of the measurements in the paper, but because I'm doing a big loopy bow, I'm going as far to the right as I can, even though it'll still be off center to the left. And then my last one, this card here, we're going to do another one of that same rectangle oval and glue that together. Meredith says, love your wonder recipes. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you love them. I hope you're using them. And when you use them, please, and your Stampin' Up supplies, please share. Wonder recipes are a huge stress reliever for me too. I know that when I cut the paper, it's going to turn out nice. One of my anxieties is that I'll cut the paper and then it'll be cut. And then what if it doesn't turn into something nice? Then I've just cut the paper and kind of ruined it. I know it's a silly thing. I think a lot of us paper crafters though have that anxiety about cutting the paper. And Wonder recipes leave me knowing that I'll have a success. You know what I mean? So our ribbon, I did most of it ahead of time. It should be dry anyways now. But I'm going to tie 3 big loopy bows. Should be big enough. Let me get some ribbon scissors and give them a snip. Brenda says she has that anxiety too. See, I don't think it's uncommon among paper crafters. The papers are so pretty, and we don't buy them because we don't like them. Let's face it. We get the papers because we love them. And then with Stampin' Up, you know, once they're retired, they're gone. You can't just go get some more. So the Wonder recipe really gives me confidence to just go ahead and cut. All right, so a little glue dot gets that ribbon on there. I'm going to repeat that a couple of times. Ooh, Linda's in the club. Marian says, love the cards. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you. And telling you, I went to bed way too early last night. So I woke up way too early this morning, just feeling like, I don't know, the cards kind of made themselves, honestly, because I haven't woke up inspired like that in a long time. Do you guys ever dream cards? Like you wake up and you just know what you gotta do, what you're gonna make. Kind of can see how it's going to turn out. I used to do that all the time. I used to just dream them up and then come downstairs to the office and make them. Not as much anymore. All right. Marlene loves blue, so these really make her happy. I like blue, but more green blues, like Pool Party. So this is stretching me a little bit on the shades of blue that I turn to. And I love it. I love it. I'm getting kind of pushed out of my comfort zone a little bit. It's kind of like when I use the Hydrangea Hill paper, because purple is such a hard color for me to work with. I really have such a hard time. And the Hydrangea Hill paper is beautiful. Pushes me to use purples and embrace them. All right, so one more time. There's our bows. Oh, I love the big loopy blue bows. I wish we had some Pacific Point ribbon. Oh, look at that. That doesn't happen too often. I used a whole roll. Glue dots last me forever. Seeing your cards today makes me want to break into the berry paper I've been hoarding. I know. I've hoarded a few myself. I've hoarded enough where I'll probably offer some kind of a class. I just haven't had a lot of time to think about it and include the paper in so that there'll be an option for people who maybe didn't get in on it to go ahead and do that. All right, so we're to this point. Now we need our blueberries. Aren't those gorgeous? And all we did was ink and stamp. Look at the shading that you get from the fill-in, the distinctive with the granny apple green and the garden green tones, the berries with the night of navy and the Pacific point. It just, fantastic stamp set, this Berry Blessings. I love that you always have a way of making my day sentiment too. Out of this set, that's the only thing I had used until today, and I had used it a lot. All right, let's get some dimensionals on these. It's gonna take me a second to do them all. I'm so sad that celebration's nearly over. Just a little bit over 24 hours to take advantage. This Berry Blessings bundle is so worth it, especially if you've already got a wish list. $100 order gets you the Berry Blessings for free. $150 order would get you the Berry Blessings bundle, the donkeys, and $15 of free product. Just saying. My next Wonder Recipe number 10 is totally going to be donkeys. Linda says fields of flowers would be beautiful for this layout. I see a Wonder Recipe number 10 challenge coming for you, Linda. Gotta make them and share them in the craft social. I would love to see it. I think you're right. I think this would totally fit for that. All right, I'm almost there. I'm kind of a glutton for adhesive, so don't mind me. I use quite a bit. I use smaller pieces, but I like to spread it out, make sure, you know, nobody likes a saggy middle. That's what I say about it all the time with adhesive. Nobody likes a saggy middle. All right, let's peel those off. And then each one goes over the ribbon and fills in the space around the bow. So let me get each of the samples. Here's our first little dude. We're gonna go in from the left side here and just catch that bow under the adhesive. So pretty. Trim the ends. They're just a little bit past the end of the card. Clean them up a little bit. There's one. See the difference between the two embossing folders? I had the tufted. So in my little envelope like this, the pool party one, there were 3 of those just sitting there. It's like, oh, half the work is done. And then here's one with a currant, because you can't get the tufted anymore. Tasteful folder. All right, still got to put a little bit of bling, so hold on, we'll come back to that. All right, then this one is this. Got the berries on there. Such a pretty card. Carol says thank you. My middle is pretty saggy. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Like, I've always known you were my people, Carol. Like, you like to fussy cut, so I've always known you were my people. But your sense of humor, girl, you speak my language. I understand. Got a pretty saggy middle myself. All right, so then more blueberries. That's this one. Okay, one more blueberries. There's this one. And can you believe that's what we started out with, was that one 6x6. Cut it into 2x3 pieces times 3, 3x3 times 2, and then you just shuffle the pieces. Do similar but slightly different elements. You got 3 cards. All right, so let's put aside the original set. I'll put just the set we made here. So they've got similarities, they really do, but they're not exactly the same card. They're not quite mass produced, but they were easier than recreating the wheel, making this one, and then recreating the wheel and making this one. To do them as a group really kind of speeds everything along. It makes decision making easier, helps you to use up scraps and misfits, helps you to use up your designer series paper, have the confidence to cut it and use it. What do you guys think of the Wonder Recipe? Anybody new, brand new to Wonder Recipes? I've been doing it for quite a while. It's truly sometimes the only way I can get myself to get going, to have the courage. Well, just doing some clear rhinestones. I thought they looked kind of like dew, like water. Love the colors together. I'm shocked I don't have any Pacific Point. Blues are my color. I know that will be on my next order. Yay! Yay! I'm glad that you're inspired. The Pacific Point is a color that is not a go-to for me. So it's been very enjoyable to get out of my comfort zone just a little bit and try some colors that don't come naturally to me. It was easy with the great paper Stampin' Up put together. A little bit of gems. Kay says me, using the Wonder Recipes. Look at that. See? Look. That feels good. I can order more stuff now. We used up the glue dots. We used up the clear rhinestones. Like, nothing makes you feel better about shopping than having 6 gorgeous, gorgeous cards done and ready to share. And there you go. That's the last one. We got 6 gorgeous cards ready to go and share. And we used the supplies. We used the leftover card bases from the class. We used the leftover labels. The Pacific Point reject label inspired the whole layering. Like, it just really is a fun way to craft. I hope you'll give the Wonder Recipe a try. Here's that. In case you're joining us, this is a Wonder Recipe. It's printable, both on the business page. Just scroll down a couple of posts, and it's in the files section on the kitchen table. Stamper Craft Social. Give it a try. Oh, who just said? Brenda did. Blueberry bushel. Okay, so I was standing there this morning at the crack of dawn when I woke up and knew I had to make blueberry cards, and I was looking at the Pacific Point. I'm like, Pacific Point? Who makes Pacific Point blueberries? Is that even going to look right with the paper? I'm like, I want to use blueberry bushel because that's one of the few things that I kept. See? There's all my blueberry bushel, and I still have, I think, 2 packs. So it'd be very beautiful. It'd be very beautiful with this paper. If you still have blueberry bushel and you haven't gotten the Berry Blessings bundle yet, you need to get the Berry Blessings bundle, because look at that. You'll use up your blueberry bushel for sure. I was right. Blueberry bushel would be very good with this. But I said to myself, you can't use blueberry bushel because people can't order it anymore. You'll just make them frustrated. But for those of you who have it, it's going to be a perfect match for that. All right. Put that guy in there. See what you're commenting. Marlene says, we'll try this for sure. The colors are so rich. Aren't they gorgeous? I want to see your Wonder Recipes. Norma says, can't wait to try it out later today. Yay, happy stamping. Linda says, thumbs up. Hope you're feeling better. I feel so much better. It was just a rough week, but a good night's sleep and some craft therapy just really did it for me. Deborah loves my paper storage envelope. Nice. It makes a huge difference for me, and it means that I use more of my stuff. So and they're hard to find at the Dollar Tree. They come and go, and sometimes you have to get them colored. So sometimes they have like blue and gray and green, and sometimes they have clear ones at the Dollar Tree, and they come 3 in a pack. So they're less expensive than Amazon, but you can totally find them on Amazon too. All right, what else? So smart. I may actually get organized doing this. It's helped me a ton. And it really does help my creative process too. When I can go in and say, okay, Night of Navy, and then I can audition all the already cut pieces that we all have. We all have those graveyard pieces that got cut for something and didn't use, or cut too many, or they were reject from one design. And I can go in and I can audition those things. So as I'm designing, I can just, how about this one? How about that one? You know, I can pull out the colors that I'm going to use. And there's cutouts in the envelope. I can say, okay, how about Magenta Madness? No, maybe Bumblebee, you know. So it makes a big difference for me around here. All right, I have got a half started Wonder Recipe number 10 with the Darling Donkey and my brand new Designer Series papers from Joining. So I'm going to go and get Stampy some more. I'm feeling good and feeling crafty. I'm also working with my mom and my aunt today to get out tiny treats. So those are going to be packed, and you'll see me printing the postage for them today, and they're scheduled to pick up on Monday from my porch. So I got tons of stuff to go do. I might see you tomorrow for another live video. I plan on just sticking around close to home, so we'll see. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing. I love when you share my videos with your crafty friends. Reach out if there's anything I can do for you at the end of celebration here.